Tomorrow, the biggest annual consumer electronics trade show in the world kicks off. We're behind the scenes in Las Vegas with Consumer Reports electronics editor Glenn Dreen. He's got the latest in gadgets and trends for the new year. Let's start talking TVs. What's happening in 2014 with TV manufacturers?
Well, it's interesting. This show is going to be overflowing with what they call Ultra HD TVs. You might have heard a little bit about this last year as some really high-end expensive sets came out in the Ultra HD space. That's basically the next step forward from standard HD that everybody has right now. This year, what's going to be interesting is that you're going to see a flood of these sets, not just at the top tiers of the market, but really coming down to the upper edge of affordability, where consumers might actually be able to purchase one of these things without like NBA style salaries. And you're also going to see something, this is really bizarre, we weren't expecting this, but curved TVs are starting to really hit the market as a point of differentiation with the top tier sets, and that means that literally just like you'd expect, there are TVs that have a curve like an IMAX screen, and manufacturers say that this actually improves the quality for people who are sitting dead center. We think it's a little distorting towards the edges.
It kind of seems like 3D TV has almost gone by the wayside this year because you have the curved TV and you have the Ultra HD. Is there room for 3D TV?
Well, what's interesting about 3D is that it's actually hasn't really gone away. It's just become like a feature. I think manufacturers have started to realize that the consumers really don't care that much about 3D and they're not willing to pay a lot extra for it. So now they haven't gotten rid of it because the technology is already pioneered. It's now just becoming like, just imagine as you're digging down through the menus of your TV, 3D's there.
All right. Now, what about tablets? Because I think these days they're almost even surpassing televisions in terms of popularity.
Yeah, well, so everybody already has a television, and now everybody is getting a tablet. At the show, most of the sort of big news in tablets gets announced in fall, right before the holiday season, because that's the big sales drive for them. But I think what you're going to see at the show this year is a upgrade in the software. Android has just put out a new version of its operating system called KitKat, and we're probably going to see a bunch of KitKat tablets this year.
Very cool. Hey, what about car technology? Because that's ever evolving. What's new in car technology?
Cars, you'd think it's a 100-plus-year-old technology that there's not much to innovate, but cars are increasingly becoming very connected electronic devices, and I think this year you're going to see a big push at CES towards autonomous cars. And it sounds very futuristic and experimental, but everybody's heard of the Google cars with the big antennas on the top of the cars. But you're actually going to see consumer-grade cars, things that you can buy and drive, coming out in the next couple of years, where you can take your hands off the wheel on the highway and literally let the car steer itself.
Man, it seems like it just gets easier and easier every year.
I guess so. Well, traffic gets more and more difficult, so I guess if you don't have to pay attention to it, all the better.
It's like all these technologies, they're great, but maybe they're bad at the end of the day. Hold on, here's my last question, though. It's New Year's time. Everyone's got their resolutions. We're all trying to get out and exercise. Let's talk health and fitness gadgets. What do we have there?
Sure, there's been an explosion in what's called wearable and fitness space, and there's sort of this weird continuum between everything from a smartwatch that interacts with your phone and lets you accept phone calls, all the way to pure fitness devices that either go on your wrist or on your, there are some that are even embedded into clothing that track your sort of fitness and health. And there's even some other gadgets that are just sort of in the accessories market. We saw, in fact, this is something that just got launched last night. It's a Schwinn device. Is a device from the bicycle manufacturer Schwinn that literally straps onto the handlebars of your bike, and it does turn-by-turn guidance with these arrows and a voice prompt, literally like a GPS for your bike.
Oh, that's cool. Now, Glenn, you're at this you're at this festival, this electronics mecca. What's your favorite part about going, and/or is there one device that you are so enamored with this year?
Well, I've got a weakness for these little consumer drones. It's weird. They're sort of like a military-grade technology that has just sort of stumbled into the space where you can actually go out and buy one. These little mini helicopters, and because there's been some changes in the law that allow for commercial use of this, or they're just starting to allow for commercial use of these products. You're actually seeing them flood the space here, and so we're going to see a lot of little flying helicopters, and you can attach cameras to to them. It can be a little strange on the privacy front, but there's a lot of cool applications for them, everything from checking crops to architectural digs, and also they're just fun as toys.
Glenn, looking pretty cool. I'm pretty jealous of you. Enjoy Las Vegas. Enjoy the tech extravaganza there.
Well, thank you very much.
And if you want more information on anything you've heard about today, just visit our website, mymassappeal.com, a little bit later.